Now here's something I never thought I was ever going to do. A video request. Not that I'm opposed to it, I just never thought I was ever going to do it. I never thought anybody would want my opinion so much, or my thoughts, views, stances, whatever. Anyway, my very first video request comes from a B. Jensen. Now, of course, I don't say his or her uh, full name, and I don't even let it be known if it's a guy or girl because, well, they could probably figure out who it is based off what I'm about to read off, but I don't let it be known. I try to keep it as anonymous as possible, well, because they didn't give me any permission to give out their stats or their identification. So, if you don't, I I don't give it out. Anyway, from B. Jensen, he or she writes, quote, "Hey Rice, I'm not sure who Rice is. I mean, this is a private message, so I'm pretty sure you can see my name. I don't know who Rice is, but he's like, hey Rice, maybe that's a slang or something. I just found your videos this evening, and I couldn't help but notice how right you are on so many different social levels and dynamics. Thank you." Camera's up here, actually. I am 23 years old. I am a 23-year-old male, so it's a he. Okay. I am a 23-year-old male. I have never been married and don't plan on it. Excellent. Although I would like to give thanks for allowing me to see that I am a male, I am a man and was born a somebody and not socially indentured to following basic programming. Okay. In this economic time, along with the twisted politicians, among countless others, other factions. I believe you meant factors, but it wrote factions here. Where does one start thriving instead of just surviving? I would I would like to ask you to create a video in explaining some of the principles on how to either love the job you have or follow your passion. Which is the better learned knowledge, or are they both necessary evils? Sorry for so many questions. Thanks for your time. Sincerely, your fellow American brother. Okay. Um. All right. So, first question is, where does one start thriving instead of just surviving? I'm not. You're 23. I am 27. I can't really say that I have the amount of years, real or supposed, that would make me a master at life. But I'll give it my best shot. So, the first thing is, where does one start thriving instead of surviving? I say you have to crawl before you walk, before you run, before you sprint, right? Okay, standard issue, cliche, if you will. Uh, First, you have to survive. First, you have to, uh, no, survive. Food. I'm guessing you're on your own. Food, clothes, shelter, basic stuff. Be able to get deodorant, be able to, basics of life, basics to keep you going. And that's one of the central things, basics. Okay. The thriving part comes later, but right now, especially at 23, it's surviving first, getting the basics, the foundation put in, and then you can start building up. So, as far as surviving goes, have a job, live below your means or within your means, be able to off your own income, be able to support yourself. Every single thing that you need needs to come off that one income. Okay. Too many times I see people trying to get into, like, oh well, you know what? Let's try to save money and be together and like move in together, or whatever, roommate or something. That's well and nice, But that's only well and nice when each of you, you and the roommate, because this video could be for you, this video could be for somebody else, you know, you or the roommate can afford everything on your own. And then after that, you have two people that can afford it on their own. Then both of them help to support the weight. So the amount of weight each person has to support is halved, or depending on how many people is in on it, half, third, quartered, fifth, sixth, whatever, you know. But you don't want to need somebody else to help you survive. That's the thing. You don't want to do that, because the moment you all get into an argument over God knows what, then all of a sudden they want to leave, or you want to leave, and or you want to leave, and you know, somebody, I don't know, somebody loses their job, then what? And this is more speaking towards if you're like with a boyfriend or girlfriend or something, and not so much just a roommate. If it's a roommate, hey, yo, you need to pay your half, you know. So you want to be able to survive on your own, under your own strength and power. The thriving part, also with surviving, cut your expenses down to the bare bones. I do that to the nth degree. I would say the what other people consider luxuries, I don't, such as a gym membership. Clearly, I use it. I don't just have it there growing mold, collecting dust, being a parasite to my bank account. I actually use it. Um, yeah, so I am investing in my health in the hopes that A, for the long term, and B, also so that it helps to keep me healthy enough to where I won't have to spend more money on like doctor visits and stuff like that, getting sick and whatnot. This is also why I went and invested in a $500,000. Didn't need to be that much, but I liked it. I liked the way it looked. $500,000 juicer. I have a blender. I do the whole raw food juicing thing. You know, say what you want, favorable or not, about that kind of eating habit, but I'm sorry. I don't really see a problem with. Um, I don't see what could possibly be the harm in eating stuff as close to nature as possible. So, invest in my health, buy the gym, buy the raw food, whatever, to help save me money in the long insurance, more or less, in the long term, short, medium, and long term. So that's how that is. Short of that, I cut expenses down. I don't go anywhere unnecessarily, meaning I don't eat out all the time. Um, I just cut expenses down to what is needed. Toothpaste, deodorant, clothes, replace them whenever they're needed. Don't go buying clothes every single week. You know, just replace whatever is needed as is needed. Stuff like that. Okay? I mean, this room looks very minimal, does it not? You know? So that's that. Now then, on to the thriving part. The thriving part honestly comes from owning your own business. I'm just going to put it to you simply. You're not going to thrive if you have to work a job. You might sustain sustenance, subsistence, whatever you want to call it, but surviving, okay. But thriving, you're going to need your own business. And it's not because you need your own business to thrive, it's because this world needs money. This world needs money, and you're either going to get that money from begging, which obviously is not even surviving, that is existing until you starve to death. You're going to get it from a job, which is not thriving. That's surviving. That's living, surviving towards living. Or you're going to get it from owning your own business. Now, do I mean some brick and mortar store? No, because brick and mortar stores more or less are going away. A lot more than less are going away. Just a business, whatever that business might be, that however fast you can grow it, generates the kind of income, interest, revenue, residual income, whatever, at the risk of sounding like a pyramid, multi-level marketing type thing, to where you can live off the interest and not have to work. I believe the cliche term is get out of the rat race, the crossover point, whatever you want to call that. That is where you start thriving. Now you can do some pseudo thriving by reducing your expenses and being able to save up a lot more, a lot faster to be able to go on a vacation here and there. But I'm more thinking being able to do that whenever you want, not because you saved up for X amount of months. You can finally go on that Disney World trip or that 100 country tour, on your own. So that's what that is. Now business, that's for you to figure out. Business. Again, it doesn't have to be brick and mortar. Uh, Buying rental properties and renting them out. That's probably the most standard issue way of getting wealthy. Okay. Um, we all need to eat some. We all need to live somewhere. Farms. I'm not giving I'm not giving things to tell you to do, but stuff that people need, stuff that people are going to need. People need to live in a house, and above all else, people need to eat. So, as far as I'm concerned, there are less and less people on farms today, but farmers should probably be the richest people on the planet, more on average, because they got what everybody needs. When it comes down to it, if it really came down to it, we can live on the street. There's proof of that it's possible. People do it all the time. They're called homeless. They might not have anywhere to go, but the reason why they're still alive is because they're getting something to eat somewhere. Food is needed more than all else. We can walk around butt naked, Adam and Eve style. We're still going to need food. Okay. So, above all else, food, how it's stuff that people need to live. Um, that's probably the safest thing, no matter what economy you're in. That is probably the safest thing to get into. Um, as to how you get into that, because I'm sure there are already people who would like to, that don't like the competition in there. That's up to you, but find things that people need, or another thing is that what government needs. Like if government needs certain amounts of things built, like say houses built, you could be the person that built it. And then get money from the government that way. Or if nothing else, get money from the government in the form of not getting taxed, because it's like, yo, I'm building this shit that you want, old government. Let me keep 95% of my money or whatever, something like that. Um, so yes, surviving is just being able to keep yourself alive on your own. If you can get other people to help you out, like say roommates or something, all the better. But you must be able to do it on your own. Right now, I can do it on my own. If I got a roommate or moved into my own place, got a roommate, all the better. But if not, my job, single job as it stands, is supporting me 100%. The moment I pay off my cards and stuff, it's going to support me even more. I have money to save, a lot of money to save. Uh, Principles how to love your job, follow your passion. Okay, love your job and follow your passion. you know, I, I, um, I am not for loving a job. I am for being financially independent to where you don't need a job. You might want a job. You might do a job as a hobby, but there are people out here that work at companies and don't get paid because they don't need to get paid. They're financially independent. They're doing it because they like to do it, not because they have to. I don't know any of them personally, but I have seen them. I have come across them, different meetings, interviews, and stuff like that. That is the point that you need to get to. So loving your job needs to come after you are financially independent, not while you need the job. A good way, a good metric, a good litmus test that I have come up with to see if people really love your job so much, come in, day out for the next, let's just say 6 months, and don't get paid ever. Don't take a single paycheck, but come in 6 months, day in, day out, or however much days you work, 5 days a week, whatever, for the next 6 months, don't get paid once, and let's see if you're still at that job. Because you choose to be there, not because you got fired or something. Let's see if you still choose to be at that job. If they don't pay you for 6 months and you're still there, if that's the case, then yes, you love that job. If not, yeah, you're there for the money. Now, people that, again, as I said, they're not there for the money because they have money. They don't need money. They're doing it. Who knows? They might be helping out their friend. Their friend might be the owner of the company. He's helping them out or whatever. They don't need to do that. Fine. So, loving your job, your employer, see, well, let me start off by saying this. You're no one, executives right down to especially the people on the bottom at the base of the pyramid, the pawns in the chess game. Nobody's paid what they're worth. They are paid the least amount it costs to replace them. You, dear pawn, dear pearl, dear drone, dear worker bee, you, the slave ship, you are seen as a means to an end for the company. They have no problem in replacing you. You are a module. You are a modular power supply for all you computer nerds out there like myself. You can be pulled out, replaced with something newer, better, maybe just not as worn out, even if it's the same thing, whatever. That is how you need to look at these jobs as well. Because as much as you might be working there for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they have no problem replacing you when it is most advantageous to them. You need to be of that same mentality. That is why you need to not get chained down or grounded into one job like that. I mean, that might have been good back in the day. This is not back in the day. This is today's day going into the future, and that is not what it is now. Not to say that you can't do that with certain jobs, but it's certain jobs. Like, I don't know, your own practice, which is again your own business. You're a doctor. Yeah, that's something you don't really go quitting after about a year, especially after how much time, energy, and money you have to put into like med school or whatever. Dentist, your own profession, stuff like that, lawyer, okay? But for the vast majority of people out here, your job needs to be a means to an end. And what is the end? It is to help you in whatever it needs to help you in get to financial independence. It won't make you financial independence, but it is to be a stepping stone for that. Now, let's see here. So loving your job. Again, like I said, you can love your job after you become financially independent. However, you become financially independent, you can go back to the job if you like doing it. Um, but there's no love for a job while it is a necessary. It is needed to keep you alive. Okay, so following your own passion is great as long as it leads to financial independence. Um, a lot of people have a lot of passions out here, and it is absolute bullshit. It is not going to get you anywhere. So following your own passion is great. Again, all things other than the world is infinite until you die and you cross over into the next life. The world is infinite after financial independence. Simple as end of. After financial independence, the world is infinite. You can go do whatever. You can go love your job. You can follow your passion. If you can mix both of those and get the exact same thing from both ends, good, great, excellent. All of that comes after financial independence. So that's how that is. Especially if your passion, it might be to be a journalist or a women's studies major, something that pays nothing. You need to go find something that lets you be financially independent so you can go waste time and waste life following your passion that's of no consequence. Not saying this is of your, not saying that your passion is of no consequence. You can tell me what it was, but whatever the passion is. Some people have passions that are of value. Some people have passions that are null and void. Okay, which is better, learned knowledge, or are they both necessary evils? I mean, hey, I think pretty much everything I said kind of explained that out. So, um, loving your job, I'd say tolerate your job. Try suck it up, get a thick skin for your job because I can tell you right now, the vast majority of jobs, especially in this economy, the vast majority of jobs are not dream jobs. They are not jobs that anybody would choose. Put it to you like this. Show me a job that somebody would rather do. If somebody had a choice, assuming that they didn't need to work, right? They had a choice. between being on a tropical island in perfect weather day and night, having a drink, white sand beaches, clear as air, clear as crystal clear, light blue, sky blue waters, or maybe even dark blue waters, whatever, crystal clear, tropical island. They can be there for the rest of their life versus working. Show me, somebody who would rather be working than being able to play for the rest of their life because they don't need to work to live. You know, show me somebody that loves their job that much, maybe even their profession. Shit, So it loving the job. Uh, I can't agree with that. I agree with if your job is to get financially independent, which it should be. Yeah, okay, you can love that. You can love racing yourself to financial independence, but short of that, no. No, if you're trying to love your job and advance in a job rather than advance out of a job, that that's where my help and assistance ends. So yeah, that's how that is. He actually sent this question 4 days ago, and I wrote back to him saying, quote, thanks, B. Jensen. B. Jensen, thank you for this message. If I even got through to one person, it was all worth it. I will think on your questions and make a video in a few days when I can give a quality answer. I will let you know when it's up. Okay. Oh, one other thing I will say to this, to help you in the mindset, really just the mindset of, I mean, at 23, dude, here's some stuff that if you haven't read them already, you're probably going to need to read them. I'll have a list of them, and some of them are actually audiobooks. Actually, I think they're all audiobooks because that's mainly how I read stuff. But some of them are here on YouTube. Some of them you might have to go buy. But I'm going to have a list of books. I'm just going to say the Bible is one of them right now. There are certain things in the Bible, a lot of things in the Bible. I know, oh my God, great, the Bible. You just completely destroyed everything you said. No, I did not. That's one. I know nobody likes hearing that, but that is one. There's a lot of wisdom in the Bible that pretty much every kind of person that you will ever encounter, you can find in the Old Testament. That's the first thing. New Testament, that's for other stuff, but every kind of person that you can, every kind of mentality you can and person you can encounter is in the Old Testament. That's the first thing. Apart from that, there's a lot of knowledge in the Bible about a lot of wisdom in the Bible that can be extracted and applied to daily life that people don't want to or choose not to acknowledge and use because they're so hung up on some secular atheist debate me evidence freaking onus spaghetti monster bullshit. So that's the first one. But apart from that, there's also a few other books. Let's see, 48 Laws of Power, 33 Strategies of War, the 50th Law, pretty much everything by Robert Greene. The Art of Seduction, that's I guess if you want to get girls or whatever, you don't want to. Yeah, I read that book too. That's a separate book, but strictly talking about business here. 48 Laws of Power, 32 Strategies of War, 50th Law. There is no 49th Law as far as I know. I have to still look. An interesting ebook that I noticed that few people know about that Robert Greene also made. I have it downloaded. The Descent of Power. That's a free ebook. It's maybe only like 23 pages long. It's very short. Also that one. Richest Man in Babylon. That is another one. I forgot who made that one. And I mean, there's a lot of books, but also what was the other one? The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. I believe his real name was Wallace D. Walters, but Wallace D. Wattles. Let's see here. I guess you could go the Rich Dad Poor Dad route. Yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's one. I didn't learn anything apart from the tax thing, how the taxes really screw the poor, even though they seem like they're going to screw the rich. That's pretty much the only thing I learned in that book that I didn't know before. Everything else I already knew. But yeah, that's another one. and I'll have them in the description panel, the more info panel. But yeah, pretty much start off with those books. Start off with those books, let them marinate in your mind, let them slow roast, osmosis, whatever, in your mind. And yeah, go from there. As far as what you can do to be financially independent, that's you wandering the desert, man. That's you swimming in the deep abyss ocean at night with God knows what in the water with you. That's all you. I mean, I'm trying to find my own way. You got to find your own way. But the point is financial independence. I tell this to anyone, any and everyone. Financial independence is what you need to be free from the job. Now, somebody might come with the argument, oh, what if everybody did that? Well, you know what? To that and to a lot of other passive aggressive pseudo intellectual counters, I say cross that bridge when you get to it. The fact that the vast majority of people on this planet are not financially independent means that I don't need to worry about that outcome probably in my lifetime. I probably don't need to worry about that for, honestly, forever. As the Bible says, the poor will be with us always. So not everybody can do it, and for all the ones that can, not everybody will do it. So there will be plenty of people to keep the pyramid up. You'll get to the top of the pyramid. You know, survival of the fucking fittest. All right, simple as that. Imagine that. The Bible is pretty much saying survival of the fittest. Yo, the poor will be with us always. There's always going to be somebody at the bottom. Get your ass to the top as fast as you can, or as close to the top as fast as you can. Hope that helps, Mr. B. Jensen. And if anybody else liked this is my very first video request. If anybody else liked what I've said here, this was off the cuff. This was not even the best quality I could give out because it wasn't scripted out. I didn't actually like proofread my thoughts or edit my thoughts. This is just straight raw stuff, unformatted, unedited. But if anybody likes it and thinks that maybe, just maybe perhaps, I should do some sort of donation type thing where I'm making money off this, let me know, because I was always under the impression that this channel was going to be free. Oh, okay, it is always going to be free, but I see so many people making money off these donations for their input and their guidance, and now here it is, I have one person asking me for mine. So I don't know if I should be charging, of which course of which you're definitely going to get the best possible quality because you're paying for it. Hopefully I didn't make the free quality so good that it's like, well, no, the free quality is good quality already, so, you know, fuck paying, I'll take free. I don't know. Anyway, let me know. Maybe I should start up a donation thing. Everybody else seems to be doing it. Why not? Thank you all, and I will see you later.